KBZT San Diego. You pick the songs. You talk into the mic, and you answer the phones.
They are our enemies. The president does smoke cigars. Anyone he does not like. And shoots or puts behind bars.
It's a coup d'etat on FM 94.9.
Today, the coup d'etat has been taken over by Mr. Manning. Your first name is really BigKat, or is that just the nickname?
No, sir. It's the real deal.
Seriously?
Yes, sir.
Hippie parents?
You could say that, yeah.
Seriously?
By the way, hi, Mom. Yeah, hippie parents. So here's the driver's license.
You know, it's amazing because I saw your name online. I thought, you know what? I'll go for that, whether it's real or not. But so explain to me, how'd you get the name BigKat?
Oh, well, it's not really too great of a story. Actually, I'm named after, it's a biblical name. The patron, it's a patron saint of large felines. No, it's completely made up. Just absolutely made up.
I like it so far. Okay. Patron saint, so it's kind of like St. Francis of Assisi for cats instead, right?
Right. Yeah, it was in the Lost Sea Scrolls, Dead Sea Scrolls.
Right.
So it's
The ones,
not actually in the Bible, but
the ones that haven't been read yet.
Exactly.
The
The
ones
Da Vinci Code, you had to crack it, that sort of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. All right. So hippie parents. That's what we got so far.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at your list so far. Pretty. I don't want to say out there, but it's like you suddenly realize that why play songs that other people play on the radio because here's your hour to do whatever you want. Right?
Exactly. I feel the mantra of the station here is to, as you know, it's about the music,
right.
And I wanted to play things that are good, of course, but obscure, hopefully. So I mean, some of the stuff I'm going to play today, you out there in the listening audience will have heard, and some of it you will not have heard. So I'm trying to turn you on to some new things, maybe remind you of some other things. But generally, I try to pick things that aren't already on the regular playlist
right.
here at FM 94.9.
Or regularly requested either.
Right, yeah.
All right, beautiful. Here we go. It's FM 94.9, the coup d'etat. On FM 94.9, and BigKat has taken over the radio station. So far, your selection has been quite powerful, fast, thumping. What's the other?
You're describing me here. Are you describing that or my songs? Oh, the song selection?
The songs,
great, sorry.
And you, of course.
I heard powerful and thumping, and sorry.
And there you go.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, so let's go. We'll go backwards. Okay, so Boris the Sprinkler. Tell me about that one.
Boris the Sprinkler. That's a punk band out of Green Bay, Wisconsin. That's my hometown. So believe it or not, there is a music scene, and it consists of them. And I also heard the guy that went on to be the bassist in Timbuk 3. But and I'm pretty sure that is about it. So anyway, and Dave Pirner's grandparents from Soul Asylum,
right?
They live there too. His grandparents.
So Dave Pirner's grandparents are still living in.
As far as I know, yeah, they're in Green Bay. So
in Green Bay,
yeah. So Soul Asylum came through one time, and I went to see him, and that was the biggest show in Green Bay that wasn't country or the other type of music, which is Western.
Right.
So all right, so that's Boris the Sprinkler. As I say, it's a punk band out of Green Bay, Wisconsin. That song was called "I Want to Get to Third Base with You," which I think is a metaphor for something.
It's a baseball reference, considering they only have a football team from there.
Exactly.
It's pretty amazing.
I'm thinking what it is. That's the type of thing that you'd say if you're in the minor leagues. You're a young guy, and a veteran guy comes down for a little bit to the minors, and he says, I want to get to third base with you, meaning, I really respect you at the position at the hot corner.
Right.
It's difficult to field those ground balls and throw them over to first, and ask. Well, I forget who's the third baseman for the Padres, but you're following me. So that's definitely a baseball reference there.
It's a baseball reference.
But no, if you read any more into it, you're.
Or if you're looking at the pitcher saying, "Look, I want this guy to pitch me a ball so I can get to third base."
Exactly.
With his help. Basically.
Exactly. I'm getting to third base, and we're only 90 feet from home, and we can score a run, and that'd be great. Everyone is happy. So that's exactly what that's about.
Scoring, I think, is operative.
Yeah. There you go. All right. So before that, we played the Blue Meanies. Okay,
right.
They're a hardcore ska punk. They're difficult to describe, just like the band before them, Rock from the Crypt. The Blue Meanies, they're out of Chicago, and I really got into them a while back. I went through a phase where I'm still in it, where I was really into Rocket and Blue Meanies. I wanted to play them back to back. So
any horns will work. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but it's not so much ska. Even though the Blue Meanies have a bit more of a ska influence than I would say Rocket does.
Right.
But in each case, it's waves or walls of sound that come at the listener, and the only difference is I'd say is a little more radio friendly on the part of Rocket.
Mm-hmm.
But I really dig both bands a lot, and I think the Blue Meanies have broken up now. But what are you gonna do? So.
And then Rocket from the Crypt did middle slash
Right.
Born in '69.
Right. The first two songs off Scream Dracula Scream, which I feel they really should have made that one track because I feel they go well together. And I listen to the CD on shuffle sometimes, and they just don't sound right without the other. You know, one leading directly into the other. So I sort of cheated a little bit and slipped in two songs from Rocket, but. Hey, I get to do whatever I want.
That's not cheating. You can do whatever you want. It's your show. It's why it's called the Coup d'etat.
Coup d'etat.
So, knowing that you're in the horns, do you play one yourself? Do you no trumpet, no trombone, no flute, no nothing.
No, I tried to play the French horn when I was in 6th grade, but I wasn't any good at it.
So no musical aspirations at all.
No, absolutely.
So
well, aspirations, sure. Talent, no.
All right. So you came from Green Bay. How long ago did you leave?
8 years ago. I lived in L.A. for a while, and then I moved down to San Diego, went to SDSU, got my master's degree.
So why L.A. first?
Well, you know, I'm coming from Green Bay, and I moved to L.A. for the sunshine and the girls and stars in my eyes and that sort of thing. And then I thought, wow, this place isn't as friendly as the Midwest is. I'm getting out of here. So then I came down to San Diego. Yeah, and I think
Masters in what? What did you get masters in?
Communications.
Communications.
Yeah. Oh, at the phony degree, Yeah, so I know.
So what are your plans to do with it? Have you graduated and now you've got what?
I teach. I teach.
You teach
Southwestern and Mesa College. I teach speech and debate.
Speech and debate at Southwestern.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's okay.
That's amazing. Well, you know what?
It's all right.
We need more teachers in the world, and I'm glad you're doing it, and that's good.
Well, my students probably don't agree with you that
Well, we can debate that later.
Yeah.
We'll have a speech about that, too. All right, we're going to take a quick break and be right back in a few moments. BigKat Manning's here. He's taking over the radio station, and he's going to play more songs after these. All right, BigKat Manning is the man who has taken over. Did your teachers call you Mr. Manning?
My students?
Students, yeah. Sorry, students.
They some call me Mr. Manning. That's actually my father's name because he was an elementary school administrator before he retired. So he's Mr. Manning. So
what do they call you?
I tell them they can call me BK, which a lot of people just call my initials.
Right.
And I say you can call me pretty much whatever you want, but remember that I control your final grade. So let's try not to be too nasty about it. But yeah, usually they call me Mr. Manning when they want something. If they have to turn something in late or Mr. Manning. Oh boy, here we go.
So generally BK, they'll say.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Do they have to raise their hand and go BK?
No.
Or they just go BK and you turn around.
Well, a lot of them are asleep anyway. So if I get anybody to pay attention,
That's the job of a teacher to keep them awake, right?
Yeah, that's right.
All right, before we go to the next set, born and raised in Green Bay, or just born in Green Bay?
Well, as I say, my father was an elementary school administrator, so he moved around a lot when I was very young. So I wasn't born in Green Bay, but I do consider that my hometown because I lived there from about 3rd grade on. La Crosse, Wisconsin.
Which is not that far away then, right?
Well, it's across the state. It's closer to Minneapolis. It's right on the Mississippi.
So La Crosse to Green Bay is what, a couple hours drive?
Oh, boy. Probably maybe four and a half.
4.5 hours?
I don't think I've ever done it, but yeah. So.
You must have done it at one point, because if you were born there and you ended up...
Well, then we moved down by Madison, and then
So you've been
Milwaukee.
everywhere?
Oh, yeah. Just like Johnny Cash. I've been everywhere, man.
All right, that's good. All right, so how does a young guy from Green Bay, once they get their inkling in their head, they're gonna bail and they come out here to get a degree? Where do you get all your music from before? Because obviously, if you're living up in Green Bay, it's not like you've got really cool indie stores all over the place, right?
That's true. Yeah.
There's probably no good radio.
No, there's not.
So how did you come up with, or did all this stuff happen in the last 8 years?
A lot of it did. A lot of it was the last 8 years. Not that I'm condoning downloading music, but a lot of the stuff I'm playing today I borrowed from other people online.
Right.
And the old.
So your payback is that you're going to play these bands on the radio, mention their names, and hope people go out and buy their CDs.
Exactly.
So in Green Bay, what were you into there? Just typical whatever was out at the time, the Bon Jovis and the.
Yeah. A lot of hair bands.
What were they playing on the radio back then?
Well, I actually didn't listen to the radio very much for that very reason. Top 40, that kind of stuff. And when I was coming of age, if you will, I was into the Weird Al Yankovics and what have you, and then. Actually, funny story, my favorite band is Nirvana, which we'll be playing a little bit later, and it was because of Weird Al's cover of Smells Like Teen Spirit that ultimately got me into that, because my brother Scott had he loaned me his Nevermind disc, and I thought I'd listen to the Weird Al version 100 times. I thought I'll just see what this is all about, and literally I put it on and I listened to it all the way through, and then the next day I listened to it all the way through again, and I was never the same after that.
Right,
never the same.
So that was your touchstone album. That was the album that
absolutely
flipped you into
absolutely yeah.
Interesting.
So.
All right, just usually what I try to do is to prove that actually it's just you and me and a couple people that you told. I give out the phone number right about now. Look, there's one person trying to call for probably they're calling for Gnarls Bark. They can almost guess it right there. But the phone number 570-1949 if you want to say hi to Big Cat and his selection so far. I just 570-1949. See, nobody's listening.
Oh,
all right,
boy.
what's your next?
Well, next we're going to go into some breakup songs because I feel that's something that we've all been through, and some more than others, like me. So the next song we're going to do is by the Magnetic Fields, okay?
Right.
And I'd like to dedicate, although she's not listening, I'd like to dedicate it
there's
to
two now.
to
Right.
my ex.
There's three.
Oh,
There's
great.
four. There's four.
The phone lines are lighting up.
Okay,
Oh.
so you want just girls to call then because these are the breakup songs here.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I'd like to dedicate it to my ex, and I'm also I'm very curious as to how the Magnetic Fields were able to get the essence of my 4-year relationship into a very crisp 2 minutes and 8 seconds. So, and you'll get the joke in just 1 second.
All right, it's FM 94.9. The Coup d'etat on FM 94.9. Big Cat Manning is here, and that obviously is stretching back to your days when everything had to be funny that you listened to, right?
Yeah. I got that off Napster years ago. It was billed as Weird Al Yankovic, but I find out later, I don't know who sings it. Maybe even Joan Osborne. I have no idea, but it's Bob Rivers. I understand is a DJ in the Seattle area, but
I think he is. I'm not quite sure, but I remember he was at one point.
So
he put out comedy albums all the time, and as far as I know, it's the same Bob Rivers. It may not be, but
maybe not.
What
So,
am I? I'm just
I leave it to you. That's your homework, listening audience. You got to find that out, and then call Halloran and tell him, and then email me. But you don't have my email, so that's all right. I don't need my inbox inundated with that stuff anyway. So anyway, I'd like to dedicate that one to all my friends over at U San Diego and Point Loma Nazarene. Okay, so.
All right.
It's good there. God smoked cannabis. Do you think he had a buzz when he made the platypus? Think about that. Okay, you can write a term paper on that stuff. All right, so prior to that, where were we before that?
Nirvana.
Oh, right. Nirvana. It's my favorite band of all time. That was a track called D7, all right, which I believe is something to do with a guitar riff or something. Although someone tried to tell me once that it was a figurative for when Kurt Cobain died. D is the fourth letter in the alphabet, and April 7th is when he was supposedly killed by Courtney Love. I'm sorry, he committed suicide, right? My mistake. So, that's off Outcesticide, Volume 1, which is a bootleg album. So, Courtney won't get any money if you buy that. So, do what you will about that. There is a D7 on with the Lights Out box set, but it is not the same. So, this was D7 experimental version. All right, and prior to that, where were we? I'm looking at my own. Oh, yeah, Guided by Voices. All right, Everywhere with Helicopter, because the trees and leaves are, in fact, so lovely. So, and I also like the driveway. So I'm not sure what that's all about, but again,
That is God smoking cannabis.
I think so.
Or Bob
yeah.
drinking Miller or
But
something like that.
the trees and leaves are, in fact, so lovely. And okay,
You got three before that too.
Oh yeah, Kamala K was before that. Then Kamala Kramer stopped. She capped off the breakup set there, okay, and that was probably the one and only serious song I'm going to play today. So it's Kamala Kramer. She is an independent musician, also from Wisconsin, like myself. She might not like me saying this, but I've been told, and I think she sounds a lot like Ani DeFranco. So if you are into Ani, I think you'd also be into Kamala Kramer. All right, but her record, she's got 3 out that I know of. But as far as I know,
Why
you can't.
don't you spell that for the non-spelling or figuring out geniuses out there?
It's Kamala, Camela. Kramer is Kraemer.
And that will be also posted on your playlist,
Right.
online in about 20 minutes.
Awesome. You can get her records on KamalaK.com. So you can't just go into any record store that I know of and buy the stuff. She is independent, like I say, and she puts out really great stuff, real positive message, positive energy, that kind of stuff. But it was a breakup song, so I had to put that in there. So speaking of breakup songs, prior to that was Nerf Herder, all right? And he's apparently sorry for doing a few things there, which I would not be, but that's neither here nor there. So Nerf Herder, somebody called in here and thanked me for playing that, so you're welcome, dude, no problem. And keep up with God smoking the cannabis, if you know what I'm saying. So,
and Magnetic Fields.
Magnetic Fields, that's right. So truly meaningless. So if some dim bulb should say we were in love in some way, kick all his teeth in for me. And if you feel like keeping on kicking, feel free. So thank you, Mr. What was his name
Stephen
again?
Merritt.
Stephen Merritt. There you go.
Stephen Merritt wrote all those songs. Okay, so we'll take a quick break. Be back in a few moments, and you've got about 12 minutes or so to wrap it up, and don't go anywhere. Big Cat Manning is taking over the radio station. It was easy to sign up, was it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, just hit the website, and there it was. It's
Sign up to be an insider, type it in.
you get all these cool emails and upcoming shows and things like that. So
Behind-the-scenes information,
absolutely.
pre-sale information, and sometimes we pick you to come on the radio and play whatever you want. So.
That's right. That's right.
Speaking of which, what is next?
We are going to hear a little Fountains of Wayne, but I'm not going to play Stacy's Mom. And everyone's like, oh, there's another song? Yeah, plenty. And this one's called Sink to the Bottom, which before we did the breakup songs, this is the one that somebody like me would say if trying to pick somebody up. So there you go.
There you go. That's it for the coup d'etat this time around. Big Cat Manning has been our special guest in the studio, and you can do the same thing as Big Cat did. All you got to do is fill out your little form online, become an insider, and then we call you up, you send us a little playlist, and you get to play whatever the heck you want on the radio.
Yeah, as evidenced by that We Go Green Bay song, I was testing that notion, and yes, in fact, you can come in here and play whatever you want, assuming that you don't have the FCC-unfriendly words in it.
Exactly.
Which Bill Eaton and the Heritage Band did not do, unless you think Green Bay is a dirty word, which maybe it should be.
And also the Amstead Pacer and Fountains Away did the song called Sink to the Bottom. Thanks very much for coming in. Good luck with your teaching endeavors.
Thank you.
Tell your students I said hello.
I will.
And now we're going to start the program called the FTP Show. Big Cat Manning, ladies and gentlemen, give him a big round of applause.
Thank you very much.
KBZT San Diego. This is FTP with Halloran on